BeelStar is back in town, and today I'm going to show you guys how powerful this deck has become and how you can win games with it as well. Alright, so here we are back in the DCGO simulator right here. Once again, huge shout outs to Huang Zero and his team for developing this entirely free simulator, which we get to play test here as the beta version. And it is, keep in mind guys, it's just a work in progress, so there's a lot of improvements that's constantly going to be coming. If you guys want to learn more about it and find more details, be sure to check out the description box down below. But yes, with our first match today, we're facing up against BeelStar. As BeelStar, we're facing up against Mirage, actually, sorry. So when it comes to the BeelStar deck, we are running the whole Garuru and Garurumon engine as our lower end. So, you know, it's kind of like a Garurumon deck in disguise, but not really, because we're utilizing the BeelStar as our top end. And the whole reason is because the Garurumon engine is just incredibly good at cycling cards with drawing and trashing, that it's just perfect for BeelStarmon. That's why it's making a very, very powerful comeback in this current format as well. And you guys can see, we're just going for the typical, you know, combos when it comes to setting up, Digivolving through our Garurumon stack. And the nice thing about BeelStar is that we play sort of like two-part engines, right? Like the Garurumon engine is really there to utilize to draw and trash cards and swing into security as much as possible. That's actually the aggression that provides us. And then we have a second line of play, where is then eventually when we trash enough 7-cost options and BeelStarmons in our trash, it helps us reduce the play cost of BeelStarmon. And the goal is then to play BeelStarmon later in the stage of the game to use option cards for free and take out the opponent's Digimon and control the board and establish any momentum and advantage over there. So I'm not really, you guys can see I am running some of the level 6 stuff, but there's actually not really a whole lot in this entire deck overall. We are just mainly focusing on the level 5s, which gives the deck very little commitment to get into its combos, which is really, really nice. Throughout the gameplay so far, you guys can see we're trying to prioritize to trash our 7-cost options as much as possible to help reduce the play cost of BeelStar. And when it comes to like facing against a deck like Mirage and like a big stack deck, BeelStar has a lot of advantages against these type of decks that don't have protection. And here our opponent does go into their Mirage Garurumon combo, but we can easily just hard drop BeelStarmon and answer back and just use a 7-cost option from our trash for free and just take out that Digimon. And since they had the Zudomon Ace underneath, they get Ace Overflow, so we're getting a lot of memory back from that as well, which is again a very, very powerful control play, which I really like about this whole new way of playing BeelStar now. The older BeelStar from before, you know, kind of lacks a bit of like aggression and sort of like, you know, it's fast paced to sort of like finish games. But thanks to the Garurumon engine, we can utilize it to attack again and again and again. And here you guys can see how nuts we have, because as we're cycling through so many cards, we're trying to keep as many Garurumon pieces in our hand. So we continue to cycle through and continue to toss away the 7-cost options, which is a very, very, very great game plan overall. And we're going to even try to go for lethal here. Being able to attack multiple times with these Garurumon like level 5s is just absolutely insane. And being able to, again, to cycle very quickly is what we're trying to do here. And we're going to try and look to finish the game here. You know, assuming the opponent doesn't have any security bombs, we should just continue to attack as much as we can, even if they do have bombs, just because the importance of cycling through cards are very, very, very crucial to this deck. So here we're just going to Digivolve into our WereGuard X to follow up afterwards, continue to trash the cards that we don't need in our hand. And that's one of the major sort of like aspects of playing this particular deck. You need to think about trying to trash away cards such as the 7-cost options, which is, you know, the most ideal way. But otherwise, you got to think about what pieces you don't need at a time and trash those cards away if you don't have 7-cost options in your hand. So here we just swing and just easily take out the game very quickly, just like that. Wave 2 is here. We got 2 new products. You guys love the first series Cyberzone so much, we decided to make some new color variations just for you. We also have a brand new design for the winter season, where we have our second series, Winter 0. And this time it comes with different colorways right off the bat. The new drops are now live on the AVAULT store right away for pre-order, so be sure to check it out. Both new drops have single and 2-player versions as well. So for game 2, we're facing against FangLongMon this time, and looking at our opening hand, it seems very keepable. There's a rookie with Gabo that we can go into, and then we have Garuru X. Overall, when it comes to this matchup, I would say BeelStar does struggle a lot against the whole David deck because they're able to hard play a lot of things and they're big bodies, and we're gonna have to try and answer them. And the other thing that it really mitigates us is that it actually prevents our level 5 plays of being able to swing into them, because if they have level 5 bodies on their side, they can blast Digivolve on us and they can actually control the board way better than we can. So here, when it comes to like learning about this matchup and while playing this game, you know, it really comes down to trying to like, you know, control the board as much as we can. You gotta be a bit more thoughtful when it comes to how you want to play this, because we want to try and remove the level 5s at the same time, and we want to not let them be able to gain so much advantages by blasters evolving on us every single time. But there are situations like these where you guys can see that I'm just trying to attack with BeelStar, bait them out to come out with the blast Digivolve, and then utilize our option cards to remove their level 6s, so we can even get Ace Overflow and get some memory back and sort of like give them as little memory to work with as possible. Now, the nice thing with FangLongMon and the David deck is that they usually give you a lot of memory to work with, and with that memory you can actually try to like juggle around and make more plays. And of course, here we just have to just continue to draw and trash as many cards as we can to set up for our BeelStar for the reduction on its play cost, essentially. Now, sometimes when it comes to this matchup, I kind of have the tendency to want to keep some of my options in my hand just because I can actually use them. And with so much memory that they give to us, we can actually use those options one at a time to answer back their level 5s. But at the same time, you guys can see here, we're still kind of struggling trying to like attack into them. As long as they have a level 5 on the board, it's very difficult for us. I know we have to continue to draw and trash cards as much as we can, but we don't want to lose bodies just for the sake of it either, because when it comes to the long haul of the game, the FangLongMon and David deck can definitely outlast BeelStar. We draw and trash so many cards, we might end up like decking ourselves out because of that. Here, you know, when it comes to our line of plays, you guys can see, you know, it's kind of unfortunate we kind of have a suboptimal stack to build this time. You know, we kind of want to rack up like Gabu into Gabu X into Garuru and then Garuru X at least. But we're, you know, end up just getting bounced back like a lot here and getting controlled by like Azulon. They're having, you know, setting up blockers as well. They're stopping our attacks. And I'm just trying to debate again, like, yeah, that's fine. You know, they can go into their level 6s because we can always use our options for much lower cost because of Ace Overflow to remove them. So here I decide to even just hard play like BeelStar early and trying to deal with their level 5s first, and then, you know, follow up to deal with their level 6s. And the only downside when it comes to that is, you know, BeelStar can let us use options for free, which is fantastic. But if we remove their level 6s, their level 6 for sovereigns are going to end up deleting our Digimon as well. So our BeelStar doesn't get as much value being on the board afterwards because we won't be able to swing with it. But that's what we kind of want to do. You guys can see, yeah, we're playing really effectively when it comes to controlling the board, but like, it still doesn't really matter. We're at 2 security and they're at 5. We still have not dealt damage to them at all yet. And even so, they continue to ramp up with a lot of level 5s over and over again. And they're just going to keep like pushing up and attacking us in barrage. Here we realize we're in lethal range already. If we don't deal with their board right now, we're just going to get like taken down by like 3 swings later. Even though with security bombs, we can't always fully rely on them because there's not always a chance that we have security bombs. So here we're just forced to basically like, you know, play from behind. We're constantly just trying to play from behind and try to find the right opportunity to eventually maybe find the window to, you know, put some damage in. But it's also a matter of time until they get into FangLongMon. Right here, you know, we got really lucky with the Ice Wall too, because with that amount of memory they have, they could easily went to another Azulon without even blast evolving. They get to unsuspend and attack into us afterwards too. But that's the nature of BeelStar. There's quite a lot of bombs that we can work with, so then we can actually, you know, play a little bit slower. But again, when it comes to the grind game, the David deck is absolutely really good at longer haul matchups. Here we see an opportunity to go for sort of like full line to go into level 5. But again, we really need to cycle and draw and trash cards as much as possible, which is nice because now you guys can see our BeelStar effectively only costs 1 to hard play, which is really good. But the same thing is going to happen again. They're just going to be able to blast Digivolve into Azulon here, which is one of the best ones, and just bounce our level 5, and then it's gone just like that. here, I actually had a really good play in mind. I was gonna actually be able to clear their entire board, and I kind of completely forgot. I was wanting to use Kakaida's Breath to bounce their Azulon back to hand, and we get Ace Overflow, and then we can play the second BeelStar and use Happy Bullet Shower. But this is the moment I realizing I completely forgot that I did not have a blue source to use Kakaida's Breath, which is really unfortunate because we could have completely cleared the board and still stayed in the game. But because of that misplay, we had to pay for it and we suffer it right here. But that's okay, we'll get them in the next one. Since we're moving on so quickly throughout our games, let's go into game 3, and this time we're actually going to be playing against Garurumon, like the pure Garurumon deck as well with BeelStar. And this time I want to showcase you guys how strong that this BeelStarmon deck can actually be without even needing to go into BeelStar as well. Right here we have a really nice line of play. We can easily like Digivolve into Gabu, you know, go into Gabu X to search for more pieces, and then all we need to do is just find our Garurumon package and continue to climb again from level 3 to level 4 to level 5 and start attacking as soon as we can. Now the nice thing when it comes to this matchup, we do have the upper hand simply because BeelStarmon has a lot of removal tools, which the Garurumon deck doesn't have any protection against whatsoever. And the other neat thing is that likeliness of having security bombs in our security stack can help us hinder and slow down their plays, which again, they don't have any protection against. So we can really utilize that upper hand and sort of like, you know, attack even faster than them, which is a favorable matchup right here. I am a little bit worried with this current setup that we have on the board because we are kind of like showing and revealing the cards that we have outside in the battle area. And if they're able to go into the big combo, they can just easily clear our board. And you guys can see with the Garurumon, they're already in their level 5s, attacking into us, into our security, and just cycling nonstop. But this is the exact moment where it's a very, you know, good example of how BeelStarmon can just easily counter this. It does have a bit of a luck factor, but we're playing so many 7-cost removal options, it's very likely that we have at least 1 or 2 every game in our security that's at some point it's just gonna hinder any big stack decks from coming in. You know, this is the same concept as Mirage as well. If they try to attack into us, as you guys saw earlier, you know, these security bombs actually help us, you know, stay in the game. And because of that, they lost their entire level 5 stack, and we can continue to be unpunished to Digivolve outside in the battle area, and we can give them as little memory as possible. At this moment, they're forced to rebuild all over again. If they don't find their rookie, they can't Digivolve into their stack. They're awkwardly trying to cycle through their cards as well now, and we're sitting in a pretty good position. The other thing is that usually when it comes to Metal Garurumon decks, they don't really have security bombs in their deck either. So we can actually, you know, freely just start swinging in and gain a ton of value and just attack. And if they're not able to remove our board quick enough, especially you guys can see there's no rookie in the raising to come out with it, and they don't even have enough setup cards, we're just gonna keep attacking. I know it's kind of risky when it comes to like chipping away the opponent's security bit by bit, and especially in this format, because it can give them like memory boosts, it can give them like training cards, cool boy and stuff that can actually benefit them a lot. But we do have to start attacking, and we do have to start like throwing away our 7-cost options in our hand as quickly as possible. Not to mention, we have the perfect battle protection going on as well here when it comes to the Garurumon package. So continuously, we're going to continue to Digivolve trash cards from our hand and continue to reduce the play cost of our BeelStarmon later on, so that we can play it for very, very little cost and continue to like remove stuff on their board. I do identify that they do have that Garurumon X on the board, and we do want to get rid of it potentially. And thanks to the Whale Garurumon level 5, we get to pop it here as well. And by removing it, there's just absolutely nothing they can actually do here to really answer us. And this is one of the moments I really like X Antibody Proto Form, because we can actually kind of like choke them and give them as little memory as possible, and we're set up for next turn to basically just go for lethal. And so far it's been so good for us. I mean, yeah, we got a great security bomb in the beginning, which completely ruined their entire plans, but that's just kind of how the nature of the games goes. And we just don't even need to play BeelStar, and we can just win. And that's why this deck is just so good right now, because there's a really good aggression when it comes to taking down the opponent's security, chipping it away, all at the same time. And then we play BeelStar later on if we need to. And this is a very good showcase of sometimes we just don't even need to because of that sake. And yeah, so we're just gonna go here, try to attack as much as possible. Again, we have the battle protections. Of course, the cards you want to try to bottom deck from your trash are going to be pieces that are not 7-cost options and not BeelStars. Maybe sometimes BeelStar, but here we can just easily and then just swing for game, as we have enough attacks and they have no security bombs, and we can just deal with it very easily because of that fact as well. And yeah, as you guys can see, we redeemed ourselves and took down the opponent's security very quickly, just like that. Like always, if you guys haven't done so yet, be sure to check out the AVAULT store for some awesome merch on there. And if you guys want to see more EX5 gameplay videos, be sure to watch them right here, right now. As always, you guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you in the next video. It is AVAULT signing